We thank God for another opportunity to come into your homes, your jobs, wherever you are. We thank you so much for tuning in. I am here today with my big brother. Man, you know, a lot of people, and it's crazy because you assume everybody else. But you know, I ran into a cat the other day who didn't know we were blood brothers.
Is that right?
Had no idea we were blood brothers. And so I'm just grateful to God to have this opportunity to spend some time with my brother. And we're just going to talk about what this year has been like for us individually as well as pastorally. And so we invite you guys to like and share this. And preferably, if there's a pastor, if there's a leader out there, maybe something that we've been through, you can glean from, and hopefully it helps you. Shout out to our campus pastor, Dr. Von Joshua, who was just not here, but definitely in spirit. We thank God so much for you and the work she's doing there at the Antioch campus. So, man, what's happening, bro? What's up with you?
I'm glad to be here. Glad to be a part of just a phenomenal work, man. And I got to tell you, it has been phenomenal watching with you and EP and this whole team has been doing. I'm blown away. It's good to be in the spot, man.
Yeah,
I'm glad to be here. Glad to be sitting and talking with you and sharing with the people. Good to see all of you all. Thank you so much for all you've done. Been watching us all year long. It's been tremendous, man.
It has been an amazing year. Bro, can you realize we have been out of church now for over 9 months?
Just to think about that. 9 months, no church.
Come on, bro.
9 months? Oh, boy. And don't you hear it? Don't you hear it all the time? Don't you hear about church and going to church and doing it?
Oh, man. We got some exciting things that we're going to be launching next year with all of our campuses.
Yes.
And we're grateful to God for that. One of the things I wanted to share, man, today, or talk about at least, is this statement that I've tried to live by, big bro. I haven't mastered it. You know, I'm always making it clear. And I think if we can get this down, I think this is a game changer. And that is understanding that this Christian life, this being a follower of Jesus Christ, is not about mastering. It's about managing.
Yes.
And one of the things that I've tried to manage this year is making adjustments and not excuses, right? March, I think it was March the 15th, third Sunday in March. I think that was the 15th, where it was our last in-person service.
Wow.
And man, I was thinking, you know, you got March, it'd be a few months, or a month or two, definitely we'd be back for Resurrection Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
And brother, that came and went. And you know what I'm saying? Holiday season, and it was just crazy. But making the adjustments when you talk about the whole thing with social media, and I've said this before, we were not, you've been active in those social media outlets to some degree, Instagram. But I was, I stood away from all of that. I was talking to Sam the other day.
Okay.
And Sam told me, he said, yeah, I remember, little cuz, you saying, man, I ain't got time for all that.
Right.
He said, nah. Right? And so having to make the adjustment, man, and quickly become active on this social media was indeed a task. And thank God for the right people in the right place doing the right thing that we've been able to do that. How has it been for you personally, though, Jay, in terms of going from preaching to a crowded building to now preaching to a camera?
Oh, God. Little bro, it's been such a big adjustment that I find myself saying something to the dot, Can y'all hear me? Can y'all see me? All that stuff. And then, I think I got a lot of this from you. I say people's names, so there are times I'd make up names and not see the people. And people who put the comment, Bishop, I wasn't there. Yeah, I know, but I'm just talking.
You're speaking by faith.
Right? So I'm learning the dot, man. I'm learning to connect with the dot, basically. Just connect with that dot. When that light's on, just, one of the biggest adjustments is understanding that people are watching you even though you can't see them.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
just one of the things you said that has helped me tremendously is that you're talking to the people.
Yeah.
So I got to look beyond the
Yeah.
dot, and consider those are people. And so I'm so grateful that I'm getting better acclimated to it. But you still miss that with the people.
Oh,
man. I don't think I'll. And one of the things I've been saying for a long time, I hate the fact that it seems like we're losing that human touch.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Everything's texting and
Mm-hmm.
People on talk. And my train of thought is, if I'm driving, Doc, why not just talk to me?
Mm-hmm.
But it's crazy. How's it been for you though?
I making adjustments, man. There's a part of me that loves doing it the way we're doing it because I can come in on a Tuesday and knock out maybe 6 or 7 videos. EP and I came up with this thing, 15 minutes in the Word.
Love it.
Because 15 minutes enough time to change it. Now, when you 15 minutes, we can come and do 8 or 9 of them, right, Sam? So that's good, unless EP got his Pharaoh spirit on it. And no straw. When everybody said, he said, no straw. Oh, Doc. Content. But it's been a journey, man.
Mm-hmm.
I miss more than anything the fellowship, but the kind of fellowship. I don't know how it's been in at Tracy, and I'm sure Dr. Joshua would have her own spiel on this. But for us here in Oakland, man, Sunday morning was an event.
Oh God!
Right. First of all, you never knew what was going to happen.
Right.
You had no idea who was going to show up. Right. Whether we going to have a comedian or a quartet group or an R&B singer. You know what I'm saying? You just never knew. What was it? You never knew what funny thing was going to happen. The Oakland campus has been known to have some characters.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Just the response, they say. We had one brother we called Cornbread. And Cornbread, probably, just the crazy stuff. Say, I remember one Sunday morning, man, I preaching, and one of the times where church was what they call high church, right? Spirit moving, folks shouting. And Cornbread walked up to me, and after service, he said, "I'm busy. Man, when you gonna let me preach? when you gonna let me preach?" It's that kind of fellowship, man. Spending time Tuesday night with the brothers, having an opportunity with women of the word. So it's been an adjustment, but that's what I miss. I miss being able to hang out, interact with the people, fellowship, and that's a big component. And we're working on some things now. We've been talking about this in terms of when we're going to come back. We want it safe, right?
Absolutely.
And then have you dealt with this, bro? People who, and I think they mean well, but people say, well, you ain't trusting God if you ain't in the building and stuff. And I think that's so foolish for you to confine my relationship or my worship being limited
to that building.
To a building, right? And I tell folk, I said, I trust God, but I also got an alarm on my house. Right? I trust God, but I make sure I lock my door.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? How have you respond when you've heard people come, when are we going back, Bishop? What's been your feel with that?
Well, quite honestly, I've been telling people, and of course, our dad has been saying it, but the fact that it touched our lives as a family, seeing my dad through it. And I say what you say. A lot of times I say, if I don't want my parents at church, I sure enough, and that being so close to home, man, I just want people to know that it's serious. Yes. And as a shepherd, I care too much about you all to have you in there and risk your lives. So that's what I share with people. I'm the shepherd looking out for the sheep. And I want to make sure that you're good and you're safe. So watch me, on Facebook and Instagram. But it's been traumatic, man, in a sense that seeing Dad go through that and hearing him share that story and being there when he comes home and all that stuff.
He can tell it, can he?
Oh, God.
Bro, he's one of the best storytellers I've ever heard in all my life.
And he's got so many of them. Oh, man, that dude's got so many stories, man.
I remember, man, let me see if you remember. You remember the dude that Dad used to bring to the house named 2020.
Oh,
Smokey.
oh.
He had some characters. Huh?
Oh, a plethora of cats.
And my dad used to bring this guy to the house named 2020, who was an alcoholic. And he was what they call down south a sloppy drunk.
Yeah.
And he, mess all on himself. And Mom would feed him, but wouldn't let him come in the house until he cleaned himself up, right?
She made that clear too.
Yeah, she made that clear. And we would have to stand, man, in the yard. You remember that?
Yeah.
And with the hose, you know what I'm saying? Because he couldn't do anything, and give him some clothes and stuff like that. I remember those moments, and I bring that up because when you talk about caring for people, and I look back over our lives, it has been something that has been instilled in us.
Oh, absolutely.
From a very early age.
Absolutely.
Of caring for people. Now, that don't mean we're perfect, but when it comes down to looking out for folk, I think being raised the way we were, that's kind of like a hallmark within us when you talk about Dad's experience with that.
And we're people.
Yes.
We are people, you know. And not only they gravitate to us, but we genuinely, I mean, even beyond the whole preaching aspect, we care about people.
Yeah.
And that's been with us forever.
Yeah, and it's, it's not without its challenges.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know how you've dealt with it over the years. How long you've been now pastoring?
17.
17. 17 years. Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know it's been that long.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
one of the things that I've at this point now I'm comfortable with it, but it took me a while, man, to be okay with wanting to be around the people I pastor.
Yeah.
And though I never had a problem with it from the outside, we grew up where shepherds, you keep sheep
at a distance.
A distance, right? And that's that whole hierarchy mentality.
Yeah.
You follow what I'm saying? But when you understand that responsibility, one of the responsibility of the shepherd is to feed the sheep. And in order for you to do that, you have to be where the sheep are.
That's it.
You see what I'm saying? You have to be and look out, at least in eye view of the sheep. And so this caring for people, man, definitely is a part of us. I want to spend a little time today as we talk about this reflection. I want to spend a little time today, man, and ask you to share with us how your journey has been in terms of your development with the condition. You know what I'm saying? That you're working out. You know what I'm saying? You publicly made known the bout with prostate cancer and how God has kept you and is keeping you psychologically, Jay. What has this year been like for you? COVID, Dad, where are you at as an individual in light of all that you've had to deal with personally?
That's a good question. You know, only one word comes to mind: keeper. Keeper. God has been keeping me. God is, listen, you know, a lot of times I would pray, Lord, get me out. When all the while he was speaking to me saying, I'm teaching you something in. I'm teaching you something in this. You want to get out, but if you get out too quick, you never learn the lesson.
Wow.
So I'm like, God, what are you teaching me this time? Of course, with prostate, why me? COVID with Dad, why my dad? You know, God's got his reasons, but he's a keeper. And I want somebody to know that's listening to us. There are some things God he wants you to recognize he's a keeper in it. You want to get out of it, but thank him for keeping you in it.
Wow.
You know, like my daughter Dawn, who lives in Texas. You know, she's had this tube that runs from her neck up to her head, right? And she's had it since she was a baby.
Yeah, I remember.
And she complained. She complained. She said, Daddy, crying. She said, Dad, she said, I don't know why. Sometimes she talk about ending her life, and we go through all that. And she says, why won't God just remove it? I said, baby, you forgetting something. God is keeping you. You in your 30s from a child. Now watch this. This never grows. So as she grows, the tube doesn't grow, right? So just keep it. Now think about that. You know, a steel valve in his heart, man. He just, man, God is just a keeper, Doc. That's what comes to mind.
So you would you say that a lot of times we miss out on the maturing, well, not miss out on the maturing process, but a lot of times we don't see God's hand working in our lives because he doesn't always get us out of stuff, but he keeps us in stuff. The 3 Hebrew boys is a perfect example. I didn't keep you out of. In fact, about it, all of them Hebrew boys, even with Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, and Daniel, all of them, bro, go through their situation.